reflection episode and an episode all about 2026. Welcome to the new year, you absolute beaut. I hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year. This is my first podcast of 2026. And big news, I don't know when there's going to be another one. So I'm going to share a little bit about my plans and ask you some questions about 2025. In the last episode before Christmas was all about my reflections and the lessons I've learned. And I just wanted to ask you a question to get us started with this episode. And then we're going to think about 2026 and I'm going to share some plans. Does that sound all right with you? Good. I have just eaten my lunch and slightly scared that I have got some food in my teeth and I haven't. Just keeping it real with you. So if you've only just happened upon my podcast, my name is Claire Hill. I am a business coach, self-belief coach, and I am the host of this podcast. I did this the other day. No Rest for the Vivid Business podcast. It's all about basically sharing what we really need to be talking about as business owners. Like, I'm not scared to say it's really, really tough and there ain't no easy option. Like, you can't get to where you want to go overnight success from a viral reel that brings in everybody that you didn't even doesn't even want to speak to you about your offers or your business. This is the real goings on about business. And I love business. I love making money. I love more than anything helping other people make more money, because seeing just the joy and the relief of what that does to somebody who has a really good heart and is building a business so it can help more people is just the best thing ever. I'm recording this before Christmas because no one's going to be, I'm not going to be recording a podcast in the Gucci Christmas. But I met with my mastermind for the final time today for the new year, before, you know what I'm talking about. And I asked them two very simple questions to sum up the session. And it was about, what do you not give yourself enough credit for 2025? So what had they achieved? And not really they hadn't given themselves enough pats on the back. And I think it's really, really important to measure how far you've come. When you measure how far you've come with gratitude, and you can really, really focus on the lessons that you've learned and how they have shaped who you are, how they have made you, then whatever comes up for you is so much easier. I've said this in the last episode, but it is always darkest before the dawn. We have shit shows going on all over the place. And as soon as you recognise that those shit shows are here to make you into the person you need to be, everything feels so easy. I am the coach that is going to help you make things feel easy and you achieve more. That is my goal. Like, nothing is supposed to feel too difficult. So I asked them that, and it was really, really powerful what they shared about the wins that they hadn't maybe honoured enough. There was some beautiful beautiful statements. I was crying. You will be seeing some of that transcript in my document, in my in my content, and a lot of them are marketing specialists, so they're like specialists, so they're very much like, yeah, let's screenshot that's fine. So yeah, it was very powerful, but I think it was more powerful for them because everybody needs a space where you go, how's it actually going? How's it really going for you? Where are you hiding behind a win, or you're not fully owning it? Where do you want to amplify something that's really working, but it feels a bit scary? So how can we sort that out for you? And that's what the Embodied Mastermind does. I'm very proud of it, as you can tell. And then 2026, what does winning look like for you in 2026? This question I got from my own coach, and I think it's such a powerful one, because it's not about, well, I said, what does it what does winning look and feel like for you? And anybody can answer this question, because is it that you say no to more things that if you spent 2025 still saying yes to stuff that you feel like you should have? Are you still over delivering in your business when you need to scale back? Or do you really need to increase your prices and not shy away from saying them out loud when someone asks? Do you want to be more consistent with your content, not only to show up more, but just to feel like you're nailing it and that you are blocking out things and not doing things on the hop? Like, looking after your future self, how prepared are you for those sort of situations and systems in your business? Um, and I think that that comes down to some really common feelings about relief. You want to feel relief in your business. You want to feel like it's easy, and you want to feel like it's fun. Like, there are some things that I have said no to. I've said some no to quite a few things. To be honest, there's a couple that I found fun, but one of the things that I'm focusing on in 2026 is the feeling of simplicity. Simplicity. And that has involved me saying no to projects I've been working on and walking away from them. That has involved me moving platforms for my courses. That has made me delegate so much more efficiently and better to my assistant Hannah. We've got a beautiful system with how we manage the workload within the business. I'm keeping it like simplicity in how I'm really backing myself and backing her and trusting her that she can deliver things as well as I can. There's obviously a lot that she can't do, like she can't do this. Obviously she edits it, but allowing her to have a bigger part in the business and trusting her and how that makes things more simple for me. Um, just because I've spoken about this before, we all have a habit, especially if we've been through some rough stuff, to make chaos for ourselves when there doesn't need to be chaos. And we make it for ourselves because it's familiar, like the chaos, the angst, the feeling of worry, the feeling of stretch. No, stretch is good, but the feeling of like, God, this is really, really hard. We can create that for ourselves when it's not needed. And I'm really into, no, I'm not making a mountain out of a molehill anymore. There's still things like simplicity. And again, another thing that I want to take into 2026 is this question of, um, what would my future self think about this? So I'll tell you the story about how this showed up for me yesterday. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is because it's twofold. One, about me creating chaos and pain when it doesn't need to happen, creating the pity party. You know that I'm the best advert for what I do, but I still, I trip up because doubt doesn't go anywhere. All right. Doubt does not go anywhere. It's just having the best tools in play. So like my client this morning, she had something really worrying happen, and she was able to like shift the unregulation, the dysregulation of her nervous system like that because of what I had taught her to do and because she does the work. So this thing happened yesterday, where somebody who I've worked with a lot, I don't know if she listens to the podcast anymore. I don't think so. And she unsubscribed from my mailing list. And I thought, God, I must have done something to upset her. One of my emails has upset her. And I'm sure that something I've said, she's gone, that's not for me anymore. Isn't that what happens? Like, isn't that what we've got to be in this situation where we're okay not to be liked, or okay to work with someone and know that I'm not for her anymore. And that's okay. Like, we change, you know, I mean, how often do we do this? And I think that I was getting tied up in my head thinking, it's about me. It's not about me. It's got nothing to do with me. It's about her and her journey and her story. And it's not my right to have a judgment on any action that someone else has made because of what they need to do. That's what I've told her to do. So I was like, okay, she's unsubscribed. I feel upset about it, but let's work ourselves back a little bit. I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here. Like, as you can see, I've got over it now because of how I've just reframed it. But also, what's my future self's future self thinking? Does my future self worry about one person leaving a mailing list. I mean, people leave mailing lists and join all the time, don't they? Like I've got in, out, all the shaking all about. And that's what a mailing list is about. It's supposed to have people join and people leave because of what happens. And I dialed up my emails. They're saying more disruptive things. They're saying bolder things. So of course it's not going to be for everyone anymore. And I'm okay with it, because if you're listening to this and you're like, God, I really love your emails, then you're for me. Love it, because I'm really working hard on those emails and I really appreciate you reading them. Thank you very much. So if you want to join them, let me know. Like the links are in the show notes. So, but I was really like, I really sat with that idea of my future self, that version of me in, I don't know, 5 years. It's not that she don't give a shit. Of course she does. But she hasn't got time. She's not looking at the mailing list thing. I'm not looking at that, seeing how many people are joining or unsubscribing. I've got shit to do, you know? So I was like, right, I've got shit to do. I haven't got time to worry about that. I haven't got any time to impact it. I worked, we had an amazing working relationship. I love what she does. Wish her all the best. Doesn't mean anything else, you know? So 2026 is definitely simplicity, letting things go that don't serve me. What does my future self say? And on that note, this beautiful podcast that I've been running for over 4 years, I just want to say a huge thank you to my best mates, Shamma and Bex, who listen to every single episode. I'm so grateful for both of you. Both of you give me such amazing feedback on the podcast, and neither of them are growing businesses at the moment. Both of them have dabbled though. And I just love that these are the kinds of friends you need in your life, the ones that grow with you. And I'm just so grateful for all of my friends. But you two get a special mention on this podcast because I know you listen, and I just love you so much, because you don't have to listen. It's not a requirement to be in like one of my best mates is you have to listen to the podcast. Because my sister, she's my bestest friend after Dan, my husband, and she ain't listened to one. So, you know, it'd be so funny, like my family. I'm like, you know, I've got like over 300 podcast episodes. How many have you listened to? My brother was like, well, you know, I was like, how many gigs have I been to see you perform? Loads. So anyway, and I've seen Jen sing actually. My family needs to listen to this podcast, but plan of action. It is just a pause. The reasons for the pause is that I want to have a fresh name. I want to rebrand the podcast. I am not the woman that started this podcast over 4 years ago. And I think that I need a podcast that represents that. And I mean, I would imagine that most of the stuff I'm going to obviously be the same, but I might talk about a few different things. It's going to have a new title. And when I met with Hannah, again, with this simplicity theme, we want to create a new intro with drum and bass in it because I love drum and bass, and we haven't had an intro for the podcast for a while. We want to make a trailer for it. We want to have we want to work on the YouTube SEO. We want to work on the Spotify and Apple SEO so that more people can find it. And we want to grow the podcast. You can't do those things while you are still creating more content. So being efficient and making big choices, I decided that Hannah is now going to concentrate on growing what we've already got. And then when it all feels ready and everything works out, we are going to rebrand, relaunch, new podcast. There might be guests again. I don't know. I'm going to see how it goes. At the minute, I'm already starting to see the cover. We've already, like, me and Hannah love a bit of drum and bass. So I've already got like the intro a little bit in my head. But it's not all of this. I'm so proud of this podcast. But for me to really serve you and to help more people, I have to do it to a point. Well, I just don't feel like I'm giving the best of myself in this current, it's not a box, but in the current shape that the podcast is in at the moment. And I want to elevate it massively. So that is what we will be doing. And I don't know how long that's going to take. but it will be back. And if you subscribe, stay subscribed so that you can see as soon as it happens, when it happens. If you follow me on social media, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my handle is I am Claire Hill. Come and find me. You'll know about it because I'm going to make a proper song and dance. Me and Hannah are obsessed with this podcast. We love it. We love all of it. And I love doing it. Like, there's no part of me that doesn't want to do a podcast. So I don't know how long we'll wait before we do it. It'll be, we listen to a bit of drum and bass and we're like, that's the intro. We're ready. But yeah, we just hang fire. But if you're going to miss me, then I've got something for you, because at the end of January, beginning of February, I haven't decided exactly, I'm going to be doing a free event about making money. Now, I don't know exactly what this looks like. But right now I have got open the doors for my new offer called Bank. Now, you might have already signed up before Christmas when the early bird was on. You make sense. But if you haven't, the beta offer is now the beta offer. So you've missed out on the early bird beta price, but you've got the beta price now. So if you want to learn how to make more money in just 6 weeks and make a certain amount of money. So say if you want to go on a beautiful holiday and you're like, I need to make $4,000. We'll make $4,000 in 6 weeks to get you on that holiday. Or if you need a new laptop, or if you want to do a course or do some coaching, or you've got a really significant amount of money that you want to make, we are going to do that in just 6 weeks. There are 2 levels. There's a group level and the one-to-one. The one-to-one, you get all of the stuff in the group, plus 6 extra 1-hour one-to-one calls with me and private Telegram support. So it's pretty epic, and it's brand new, and it's called Bank. And we're going to make so much money in 6 weeks. I'm just so excited. So if you're interested in that, go and find me on Instagram or click the link below so you can get involved. All right. Okay, Happy New Year, you absolute beaut. Remember, always, always, always give yourself credit for how hard you are working. It is always darkest before the dawn. But remember, everything is happening exactly as it should. Hold your nerve and trust the process, because you have not come this far to only come this far. Proud of you, babe. See you in a bit. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast, written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill, and music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vick.